us talked about Jesus in the garden. And he walked away from the disciples and he knelt and he prayed, Father, if you're willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done now. Cup of suffering. The image of a cup wasn't a new idea. Isaiah and Jeremiah, long before Jesus was born, talked about a cup. Jeremiah said, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, said to me, take from my hand this cup filled with the wine of my wrath, and make all the nations to whom I send you drink it. The cup that Jesus asked to be spared of was the cup of God's wrath. It's the reason Jesus came to earth. The reason he took on the form of a human being. The reason he preached and taught and healed. It was leading to this very point. He came to die for us. He came to be our substitute. He came to pay the price for our sins. He came to be a ransom for us. All metaphors how we think of this work of Jesus. And Jesus came to drink the cup of God's wrath so we would not have to taste it ourselves. That's why he was born. That's why he came. That's why he died on the cross. And just hours before the deed is about to be done, Jesus prays, Father, if you're willing, take this cup from me. The Gospel of Matthew tells us about this garden prayer, but goes into greater detail, telling us, didn't Jesus then just pray the prayer once? He prayed it 3 times. But each time he says, but whatever you want, God. I wonder, did Jesus think his prayer would change his destiny? Did Jesus believe there was some other way to get the job done? I don't think so. So why pray a prayer? If Jesus knew the Father was going to deny his request, if Jesus knew the Father was going to tell him, no, you've got to die, if Jesus knew this prayer wasn't going to change his destiny on the cross, why pray the prayer? It's a lesson for us in prayer, because prayer isn't always about changing our circumstances and fixing our problems. Sometimes prayer is about laying hold of God, laying hold of his strength, laying hold of his comfort, laying hold of his will in our lives. It's been well said. Sometimes God stills the storms of the sea. At other times he stills the storm in me. And I wonder if on that night in the garden, Jesus felt the need for that kind of coming. He said to God, but whatever you want, that's what I'll do. It was an honest prayer, as our prayers should be. But it was a prayer that was born out of intimacy. You see, this cry of Jesus to God from the garden was not a new thing. He was used to being in this position. It was an honest prayer, putting the situation exactly as it was. But it came from a habit of knee drill. And God calls all followers of Jesus to go deeper in our prayer life with him. And if we're really honest and obedient, then we'll experience things only the angel shared with Jesus in the garden that night. It was in Gethsemane that Jesus counted the cross, and in obedience to God was willing to pay the price for our freedom.